Get ready to hone your color perception abilities. This is our review of Illusion.
Illusion is a pattern recognition card game,
where each player must determine the most accurate percentage of color on the cards.
The game is played over the course of several rounds, with each round having a different color arrow card.
At the start of each round, one player draws an arrow card which will determine that round's color.
The active player must draw a color card that has a wacky design on it, and then put it in order of the other cards already on the table.
Players are attempting to determine which card has the most of that round's color in it and put the cards in ascending order.
If a player thinks the order is wrong, they can flip over the cards and show the percentages.
If the order is wrong, the player that flipped over the cards wins that round's arrow card.
If the order was correct, then the player who played the last color card gets the arrow card.
The first player to have 3 arrow cards wins. Illusion is another small box game by Pandasaurus. We saw it on Target on sale and we just figured we'd have to get it because we like some of the other small box games.
And like the other ones, the rulebook is basically just this. Pretty simple setup and just cards.
Yeah, just 100 cards or a little more than 100, maybe 102, 103, something like that. And that's all that there is. Playing Illusion is also not that complicated because basically all you're trying to do is take the colored cards and put them in order based on whatever color the round is. So if the round is yellow and you have these 2 cards, you're trying to think, does this card have more yellow? Or does this one have more yellow? And you try to put them in order and you keep adding cards to it until you think it's wrong. And that's all that there is. And then when you think it's wrong, you flip them over and it tells you exactly how much of a percentage that color is on the card.
I will say when we first started it, I basically was like, all right, Kenny, let's do a calibration round. Like, how much do you think this is? And then we would guess and it'd be like, oh, I think it's like 25, 35. And it's like, oh, okay, it's 29% yellow on here. So we did a couple of those just so that everyone could kind of get their bearings right. And then we started.
And based on how well everyone did, I think we could have done without that because once you put it out, you can kind of gauge. Yeah, there are some where it's like 18 or 19 and you're just like, eh. But other than that, most of the time, unless someone really messes up, it's pretty obvious. Oh, no, that looks good. And you keep drawing until someone's really just like, that's wrong.
I kind of liken it to those scenarios when maybe you've never done an estimate of this type before. So like, for example, if you showed me an elephant and you were like, how much does the elephant weigh? And I'd be like, oh, I don't know what the average an elephant weighs. 500, 1,000, 10,000? Probably not 10,000, but
about
you know what I mean? I would need some, I would need some sort of calibration, be like, okay, now that we're thinking about it, an elephant weighs blah, blah, blah.
What I really like about this game is it's super easy to learn and super easy to teach. So no matter who's playing, whether it's young kids, drunk adults at a party that you're trying to hang out with, you're like, oh, let's play a game real quick. Even if they're totally intoxicated, or even if it's a kid like 4 or 5 years old, you can teach anybody how to play this game and it'll go real quick and people will have fun doing it.
So at first, I didn't really get why it was called Illusion, but then Kenny explained it and it kind of made sense, right? So my brain typically kind of fills in what's not there. So as you can see, the heart, the yellow heart is pretty big, but you know, my mind automatically jumps to like, oh, okay, it's a big yellow heart, but you know, it's being covered by the blue and the da-da-da. So you're only really counting the yellow on the edges. So overall, for this type of game, you know, it plays really quick. The artwork is simple, but it has to be because you're just trying to guess the colors and everything. And I really like the mechanics of it, so I'll give it a 7.
Overall, I'm going to give the game a 9 for this style of game. Obviously, it's not the same style of game as Terraforming Mars or Everdell or Parks or any of the other games that we've rated pretty high. But for this style of game where it's basically just a deck of cards, I'm going to give it a 9. Out of all the Pandasaurus small box games that we've played so far, this is definitely my favorite one.
And Teresa gives it a 10.
And Juliana gives it a 7. And that was our review of Illusion.
What'd you think? Are you ready to get some of your friends and do some illusion collusion? Let us know in the comments below.
And if you're enjoying our content, please like this video and subscribe to our channel.
Until next time, I'm Lee.
And I'm Kenny.